Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the She's Mom podcast, life stories told with love by She's Mom. My name is Andreea Radu, and I'm the founder of She's Mom. Today, we will discuss about unleashing the power of aligned money for thriving moms with Hausler, the founder of the aligned money methodology and the creator of the Inkiri social currency. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to invite you to tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from? What you are doing and how you get here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So I'm actually mixed, born German-Chinese, raised in Singapore. And I started off my career very young, very ambitious as a woman in finance. I was a trader in London, made a lot of money for the bank in a few years. And then I had a burnout, really questioning what money was, what our life was, what it meant. And on that journey so I left, and it took me between India and Brazil for many years. I made over 100 million for the bank in 2 years. They didn't pay me what they said they would. So I really didn't want to be there. And when I was between India and Brazil, I started questioning money, life, what it really means. And that's when I did my thesis at Schumacher College and the Inkiri currency that you mentioned, where we really empowered the community from within. And what I realized in the process of doing my master's at Schumacher College in this currency, it wasn't about the money per se, but it's our relationship to money that makes a difference. So I started doing workshops and events and talks around this. And that's why I'm so drawn to you, because when my son was born, almost 4 years ago now, it just shifted my whole perspective on women and money. And that is my whole entire work just focused on women, because I realized in myself, I realized we're not equal. I was a feminist through and through. We're equal rights. And I remember I was at Davos, 8 months pregnant. The doctor wrote me a letter and then I was like, we're not. I couldn't move after giving birth for 2 weeks, And I was like, we are not equal. I understood why some roles were there. And then I started feeling the vulnerability of women and taking care of our financial future. And then the roles of dependency, independence, obviously it depends on every single situation in a partnership. But what even on a deeper layer broke my heart was to imagine women who had to go to work, doing jobs from 9 to 5 that they don't want to do and have to leave their children. Yeah. And for me, this was like just breaking me. And so that's when my work really started getting focused on women and mothers. And because I want to help young women to empower them from young to build up. Like now I have an investment course with another lady and we women build up the future female fund. So they save money so that they can take time out for themselves when they have children. They can have choices to have career breaks. I really help women to structure their finances, because I've worked with some women, they raise 3 children, separated, and have nothing left, right? Yes. And I'm just like, how can women end up in situations like this when they're giving for their families? And so all of this started to lead me to hear more and more stories around women and money. And so my inherent driving force is to work with women, for them to find what they love to do, to make money from what they love to do, and then also to be financially independent in their lives. And it's not to say that the partner is not supportive, but things change in life. And so, it's really just educating women and giving them the power back around this and the belief that it's possible. I'm not saying that you have to work like crazy as a mother, but to find something that you love to do, to find your gift to the world, which is so important for me, because that makes you shine and thrive as a person.
Indeed, and this is one of the objectives of She's Mom community. Exactly, this is why we created the community, for women to feel free to do what they dream, what they want, what they feel better about themselves doing. So yeah, let's talk about money and how moms can create the financially secure future for themselves. I know you have a lot of things do, and you do a lot of things. Sorry, and I want to talk more about you and how you creating and how you raised yourself for being a mom. But I will like today to focus on money and how it can help women and moms be independently, and talk more about you in another podcast.
Of course.
So, thank you so much.
Yeah, so what women can do, what moms can do, I think the first step is really finding what you love to do. Because for me, it's like key number one. Like, if you don't know what you love to do, like, you'll be torn all the time. Like, I always say I have moms coming to me, oh, but my kids and this, and I'm like, I know that the work I'm doing is what I need to put into the world. So when I'm not with my son, I'm fine because I'm doing the work I need to do. And when I'm with him, I'm fully present with my children, you know? And for me, this is key number one, because we can't be half and half. When you're with them and being also at work, it's very difficult, you know? And when you know that this is your purpose, your passion, you know, there's no guilt almost, because it's like, this is your drive and you're an independent person, just as your children are, you know, and if they see you fully realized and happy, that's the most important thing for a child, I feel, to have parents who are realized and really living their gifts. And especially as women, you know, it would break my heart to think that you have to go 9 to 5 to do a job that you don't have to. I'm not saying you just quit your job and you have to raise a family, but how I've been doing it through the work with women is create a space, even if it's 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day, I have no idea, but for you, where you can explore your gifts, because through that you create the space for it to come out. And that gives you joy, because a lot of moms can be overwhelmed in motherhood, you know, many things come with it, to really nourish you. The second one is we need to look at our money habits. And it doesn't start with only us right now. It starts with future generations and the past generations and the future generations who we're doing it to. For example, the patterns I carry today are not just mine, but come from my mother, my grandmother. It's said to come 7 generations in the past. So if your mother or grandmother didn't work in the economic system, or they had certain roles they played, of course, it's very difficult for you to shift forward. So sometimes we hit glass ceilings where we don't realize we're hitting them, because it's our mindset that's been passed down through generations. So for me, it's very important to do the generational work, but also your work around understanding, what do I believe around money? Like, what is coming up for me? What is, for example, my belief, I cannot, you know, earn money unless I work hard. I have to work many hours for money. You know, I have to do something I hate to make money, whatever else, you know, there's so many different beliefs. Everyone has their own story, you know? So I would say, you know, this is a big one for me, unpacking your story around money and what's going on. And then the third one is also having financial literacy, understanding what's out there, educating yourself, asking questions. So many women, especially because of pattern, you're told, oh, women shouldn't be doing finances. Oh, the dad will take care, the brother will take care. So we start giving up and thinking, oh, we don't have the brain to do that. I can't do numbers. That is not the narrative we want to write for our daughters and for future generations of women. Right? So it starts with us to start taking charge of our lives and to say, okay, let me ask questions. Let me look at investing. That's why I created this investment course for women, because we can invest for ourselves, but also for our children. You know, what does that look like? Let me learn and empower myself financially, because we don't know what the future holds, right? We don't know how long we're going to be in a certain marriage, relationship, whatever it is. You know, we don't know what it's going to look like. And for me, the important part is, I'm not saying fight against your partner. I'm the opposite. I really believe in family. I really believe in union. But I also don't want us to be blind, you know? So many women, and I guess it also comes from my own story and what I've witnessed, but give up their lives for their children. And then one day, if they're not happy, wake up and it's like, now what? What can I do? You know? I'm not saying you have to work the whole time, but I've worked with women who haven't worked in 10 years. They feel so disempowered, you know? I'm not saying work, but find ways where you still find your value, because what happens is, and I've seen it time and time again, that money is linked to self-value. And if we can't find our value, especially as mothers, especially as women, it like dips so low that at some point it takes a while to build that back up again. That's why I've been working with a lot of women on, you know, like, okay, what is your offer to the world? What is your gift? What is your passion? How do we build up your self-value to really bring that back out? Because I think raising children is the most incredible work in the world. Unfortunately, it is just not viewed like this, or about our economic system and the systems and structures that exist right now. And we're in the moment where we're rewriting these and things are changing. So it's also up to us to empower ourselves and to take, you know, the bull by its horns and say, okay, I want to create as a new reality and rewriting the story.
Yeah, and get past the fear and the shame. I have to do everything better. I want to do everything for my family. I want to do everything for my child. I don't matter. It doesn't matter if I cannot go out and I don't know, eat, go to buy a coffee with a friend, stay for an hour. It doesn't matter because we have some obligation, and this is the most important for women, to feel empowered and to have that independence. It's great. So what other solutions are there? How can you help moms? How can you provide the help the mom needs?
I mean, firstly, I'm happy to, whoever's listening to this, I offer a 30-minute strategy calls for free. So if you want to book one, I'm really happy to speak to you. Because for me, the first step is speaking. I know that it's like the tip of the iceberg,
yes.
you know, like it's always like that first step of getting out. And I encourage so many more women to speak. I'm currently working on a book of stories of understanding it, because I only get to speak with a tiny amount of women, right? Who even know about me and then dare to speak to me. So I think about all the other women who are silenced at home, who don't use their voices, who don't know where to go. And I want to just know you to know that you're not alone. And there's so many other people in the same boat, and so many other women, because it's just this taboo topic around money. So the first step is just reach out, you know, have a conversation. And then I have many different ways that I've worked with women, from looking at what your purpose is, unblocking your mindset, to really launching your, I call it soulpreneur, like your soul business. It has to really come from within, because then it means something to you, you know, it's a driving force beyond your children, or as much as your family and your children. But, you know, it's not like you're sacrificing your whole life for that. We need to find your inner flame as well to keep that going, you know, to really for you to have your purpose. And then I also do a lot of investment courses, like how do you take care of your financial future more structured, you know, and then I work with people on money mentorship as well, one-to-one and ways. And I'm hoping that this book will come out soon.
I can tell you there are a lot of solopreneurs in the She's Mom community, and they will love to hear from you, because they some of them didn't get to realize their dream or to fulfill their hobby because they didn't have this financial backing. I know a few cases, or are a few who gave up during the pandemic because of the economical situation and everything, and they had to give up and find a full-time job for them. So yeah, it will be great to have these kind of topics, these kind of discussions, to see exactly what the steps are. And if the first step is to talk and see exactly what they want, to discover themselves, what would be the next step, what they have to do?
Yeah, for me, it's talking, discovering, also talking to other women, you know, talking to your friends, opening up, you know, it's like the first step. If it's not me, at least find someone close to you, you know, because for me, the hardest thing is that you're stuck inside your head alone, right? Then the next step is talking. I also feel that then after that, it's really taking action. And this action can be big or small. It can be as small as starting a savings account or investment account and putting some money aside, saying, this is for me, this is for my future. It can be taking a course, you know, it can be anything, but getting yourself out of that. It's a mindset shift for me. It's out of the, oh, this is happening to me, to let me change that, you know, and let me see what else is out there. At the moment, we have so many courses. I'm sure you have so many resources, so many people you can speak to and get out. But I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone in their heads without support, you know. It's like, it aches me, you know, get out, find the course, even if it's a small thing, maybe do a free master class, you know, everyone has different financial means. So it's really finding something that resonates with you, being able to take that step. And sometimes the smallest one sentence that someone says can change your mind. Like I had a client recently who said to me, when I heard Alan Watts' sentence, what would you do if money were no object? And she said when she heard that, it changed her whole world, and she started working towards that in her life. So sometimes just one sentence, one thing that someone questions or says to you can shift everything for you. And I think that's an important step to move forward with.
Totally agree, and I will give you my example, because I'm afraid to do these kind of things. I'm afraid to open the Google and search how can I invest, because I'm afraid I will do mistakes. I'm afraid I will lose money or something like this. Even if I agree. I can start with a small amount or something like this. What would you tell me to do? What your advice would be for someone like me? And
I mean, I would say join a group, join an investment. We have something that we've done every month now. It's Money Day. Join other women who are investing. Speak to them, It's like building a muscle, right? The first time you go to the gym or the first time you go swimming, we know as children, the first time they walk, oh, bonk.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's the same with anything. We expect us as adults to be straight away, you're getting it cleared. No, we're going to learn over time, but it's a commitment and a muscle that we build, right? When we commit to eat well or do sports or something else, it's the same with financial literacy. It's the same with money. We make a commitment to yourself to say, this is my commitment and I'm looking after my own future in this. And of course, like sometimes it can be scary, but there's no silly questions. Ask, search, reach out to people. This is the most important for me, get the knowledge, like really pull that in and find it's like empowerment, I would almost say, around the financial and not thinking, I don't deserve this, I'm stupid, Let's clear, like delete the whole narrative for women.
The most important thing, because the first thing we think for ourselves is this. What am I doing this? I'm not capable of doing this. Forget about it. Let somebody else to do it. But yes, we have to start somewhere. We have to have the courage to do this kind of first step.
And not give the power away. You know what I mean? I think 80% of meetings that are women who have the money, they send their mother, their brother, their father, or their husband to the meeting. 80% of women.
Yes.
Right? And I'm like, this is not possible. We cannot put that power into men's hands. And you know what? The more money that lands in women's hands, the better decisions we have in the world, because women just think differently and care differently.
Yes.
So we would also be shifting things. So it's about getting empowered to make those decisions that feel aligned with you.
Yes, and because we don't make a judgment call, we think a lot of times before taking the decisions. This is the most important thing.
And have our heart involved, I feel, right?
So thank you again for all the details. We'll please come to She's Mom community, and maybe we'll do a meeting. Maybe online with a few of our members and talk more about this and how to make money for ourselves. And as we wrap up this episode, please tell us, what advice would you like to leave with our members?
Firstly, thank you so much. I would love to come. And if anyone wants to reach out here, please do. It feels so important for me. One thing I wanted to leave that just popped in my mind, I didn't think about this one, but I recently read that if you invested 2,500, I need to get it exactly right, but it was like something like if you invested 2,500 when your child was born at a normal rate of 7% compounded, compounding is when money keeps reinvesting, by the time they're 65, they will be millionaires. So every little step counts from the beginning. And it's about the length of time that we invest in. So if all of us could start wrapping our heads around this and think of the future of our children, if it's not for us at least, think of the future of our children and where we can leave them through our education around finances, at least if it's not for you, because so many women that, it's not for me, do it for your children. Give them another future that maybe you didn't manage to have, and especially for your girls. For me, it's a big wish that we rewrite the story for girls, for women, so that we can all have equality in a way, but financial, and that we can be on equal foot and really just stop this narrative around money.
Start thinking about yourself, start thinking about your child or your children, and you'll do a lot of things.
Exactly. I think for moms, it's so hard to think about themselves sometimes. So let's start with the children and come backwards.
Yeah. We talk to a lot of moms in our community, and it's the same thing over and over again. I don't have time now. I have to take care of my kids, and afterwards I will think about me. I will think about me, not I will do this. It's a long conversation with them. So yeah. But let's hope we can change these things one by one and do better. Thank you again, and hope to see you maybe in a few episodes or a few months to talk more about your story and how you got here.
Thank you, Andrea.